What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a style of beer that I don't know if I had that many of, to be honest. I don't remember the last time I had this style of beer, but what's really cool about this one is Wayfinder beer actually collaborated with the band to kind of come out with this one, which I'm a really big fan. I'm a really big fan of breweries reaching out to bands or bands reaching out to breweries, seeing if they want to collab on something, because I think it's really cool and something really awesome when it comes to a mixture of good beer and can art come out of it, just depending on the band. Well, today we got one with Wayfinder that they collaborated with Mastodon, and they came out with the Crusher Destroyer. It's a smoked Bock, or a Rausch beer if you like to call it. It's a very, very unique style of beer. Definitely heavy on the malt, along with a lot of this style of beer adds a lot of smokiness to it. So with they considering this their smoked Bock, I'm pretty damn excited. I'm expecting a good, because I think they used caramel malt in this one, which is a relatively pretty sweet malt, I would say. So I'm expecting a good sweetness, but to be honest, I want that sweetness to be balanced out with the smokiness as well, just to kind of add that really nice balance of both smoky and sweet. I'm not really thinking I'm going to get much of a hoppy bitterness to it, because they want the malt to speak, mostly like the malt and the smoke to kind of speak a lot in this one, and maybe like a little bit of like a woodsy thing. I don't know if they had wood chips to the fermenter when they were doing this, but I'm excited. I'm pretty damn excited, because this thing's probably going to be pretty damn dark, just because a lot of times when you add smoke or have that kind of heavy malt beer, it's going to be a darker beer, but it's not going to be like an imperial stout or a porter kind of dark. So without further ado, yeah, this guy comes in at a 7.2% ABV, so I would say it's just around that sessionable range, to be honest. But I'm really excited to drink this one. I think the can art looks pretty damn cool. Knowing that they collaborated with a band on this one, I want to drink and figure out if this thing's any good. So let's do that. So let's give this guy a crack open. Let's give this guy a smell. Oh, wow. Yep, definitely getting the smokiness. I'm getting like a woodsy almost smokiness out of it, which I think is pretty nice. Wow. I'm kind of curious if they smoked the malt before, like let the kind of the malt kind of incorporate with a little bit of a smokiness to it before they did the boil, because there's a very, very nice like natural smokiness come out of it. I'm pretty damn impressed. And let's pour this guy. I'm ready to drink this. So drink it out of my untapped pint glass this afternoon. And yeah, let's see how this guy pours. It definitely has like, on the pour, has kind of like a brownish kind of color to it. Not going to be the point, like a dark brown. Not going to be the point where it's going to be black. Has a nice, almost light tan kind of head to it. But yeah, that looks delicious, to be honest. Almost has that really, really dark color to it. Has like almost a blackish red kind of tone to it too. But yeah, that smokiness is still coming through pretty predominantly on the nose. Getting a slight sweetness to it. Hopefully that it doesn't get like overpowered by the smokiness. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I gotta try that one again. That's interesting. Okay. Definitely is a nice kind of malty sweetness in there. I think the smokiness comes through a lot. If you don't like smokiness in your beer, this might not be the beer for you. But the smokiness is actually really nice. It's not too overpowering. It's not going to be the point where like the smokiness is actually adding a bitterness to it, which I think is really nice. I think they balanced that out really well. The maltiness kind of definitely have like an effervescence, almost bubbly mouthfeel. There's not really any creaminess to it whatsoever. But yeah, the smoke is really predominant in this one. And it's just overall really well balanced, I think. I thought it was going to be too smoky, but it's not too smoky at all. I actually really enjoy the smokiness in this. Wow. And I thought it was going to be a little bit too smoky, because that's all I was getting on the nose. I was thinking, okay, if this is going to be too smoky, you're not going to taste the caramel malt in that. You're not going to taste any of the malty sweetness that would go in there. But that's not the case at all. You get the smokiness. It's definitely there. But then kind of settles away a little bit. Still keeping that smokiness in your mouth. And you kind of get like a slight caramel malty kind of sweetness at the end. That's just pretty damn good. I'm pretty impressed. I wasn't sure what to think about this kind of beer, to be honest. I haven't really had many beers like this. So, looking on Untappd here, I always talk about similar beers. I looked through it a little bit, but I think I already figured it out just because it seemed like it would fit. So, there's a brewery out of New Jersey. I think they're out of New Jersey, yeah. Called Experimental Brewing Company. I know, play on words. They're out of Garfield, New Jersey, and they have one called Mr. Smoke, which is a 5.8% ABV. Pretty much a smoked Reich beer itself. So I think if you can't get your hands on this one from Wayfinder, I think that might be one that would be a close second, just because if it's saying Mr. Smoke in the name, they're probably going to have still a predominant smokiness to it. So knowing that you're going to probably still get those similar smoky flavors along with that kind of slight, like, kind of caramel sweetness at the end, I think would be right up your alley. If you kind of can't get on this one, you can get that one. So let's look here and see what the ratings on Untappd are. So like I said, it's a 7.2% ABV, and with over 924 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.96 out of 5, which isn't bad. Not bad at all. And the description here says, a behemoth of a Bock, full flavored and head full of smoke. Crusher Destroyer is double decotted, rich imbued with deep caramel malts, and best enjoyed sludgingly slow. Burn your game plan. So what they suggest is this is a slow drinker. They want you to kind of savor every little bit of smokiness and like kind of sweet maltiness in there, which definitely wouldn't say this is a chuggable one, just because the flavors are kind of not in that realm of being a chuggable style. But the flavors are delicious. Absolutely delicious. Really liking that kind of more of that. The more you drink it, the more of that caramelly sweetness is starting to come through, and it's balancing out more with the smokiness, which I think they did a really good job with. So looking at my friends list here, I think there's only one person on my friends list that's checked this one in. That's my father, and he gave this a 4 out of 5, saying he likes the smokiness. So he must have liked it pretty good, because the 4 out of 5, when it comes to a different style of beer besides like an IPA or a stout from him, you know, must know he likes it. So looking here again on the global ratings, let's see. This guy gave it a 4 out of 5, saying, been saving this beer for the last year for the new record, first listening sesh. And so he's listening to the new Mastodon record with this beer. I think that's a perfect way to do it. Let's see. This guy purchased this off Tavor, gave it a 4 out of 5. Let's see. This guy gave it a 4.25, says, this tastes like I'm drinking and setting of a bonfire with friends, which I completely agree. You're drinking like a nice kind of like malty kind of beer, along with that kind of smoke of like a bonfire kind of thing around you when you're tasting it. So I think that's a perfect description. Let's see. Another purchase off Tavor with another 4 out of 5. Let's see. 4.25 out of 5, saying perfect amount of smoke, relatively smooth, complex flavor. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on in this thing. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. Stone makes a delicious smoked vanilla bean porter. That sounds great. Yeah, to be honest, anything when it comes to like knowing how smoky this is, I could see it pairing well with a lot of different desserts. Maybe I don't know if adding like a smoked meat or like maybe I can see cheese, meat, and nuts can be a good pairing. I don't know about just having smoked salmon with a smoky beer. Seafood might be able to be a decent pairing with this one. But I can see like desserts to kind of adding like that, if there's anything with like a vanilla in there, having that smoky kind of vanilla flavor go through you, I think would be pretty satisfying. So looking at here, let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this guy, because I'm curious. Okay, get back to the right page. There we go. Back to Untappd, go to the top. And let's look at can art before I pour the rest of this into my glass. Yeah, the can art I think is really cool. There's not a lot much going on like when it comes to taking up all the real estate, but the main picture they give you when it's like that kind of goat with the 6 eyes and you get the Crusher Destroyer logo. I think Wayfinder always does that kind of trident in the triangle thing on the bottom. It's their smoked Bock, and I really like the rainbow colors shooting out of its eyes, having that kind of holographic, almost black and red flame in the background. There's definitely a lot of holographic like colors to this. Definitely like the neons in there. And of course, they have the smoked Bock on the side, and then of course may have missed the point on what kind of glass to drink it out, but that's okay. Has everything you need to know in there. Let's see. Of course, has where they're out of, Oregon, and all that kind of stuff. Portland, Oregon. So, yeah. When it comes to taking up all the real estate on the can, they could have done a little bit better, but I really like what they did for the front of it. So I'd give this a solid 4 out of 5 for can art, for sure. Really, really enjoy it. This would definitely catch my attention at a liquor store or a bottle shop, just because it kind of fits my realm of what I'm looking for when it comes to like outrageous or kind of evil when it comes to can art. And I think kind of like a devilish kind of goat with 6 eyes does that perfectly. Plus, it tells them they collaborated with Mastodon on the top. So overall, really, really nice can art. And let's start thinking about, if I got this in a flight at Wayfinder, would I get another one? To be honest, I probably would. I really like the smokiness. I really like the balance in there. It's a different change of pace when it comes to beer I usually drink. I'm usually drinking sours, IPAs, stouts. This definitely kind of gives me another kind of thing to kind of have my palate experience, which I'm a really big fan. I've always loved trying different beers that I normally don't try. I love seeing what else is out there, what other styles are out there, because there's a shit ton of different styles of beer out there. And me only sticking to a certain, maybe like 4 or 5, and kind of changing it up a bit, I think is a great idea, and it helps my palate learn to distinguish different kinds of flavors as well. So overall, this beer is absolutely delicious, and I'd definitely get one of these if I got it in a flight for sure. I'd probably get a 4-pack to bring home, to be honest, because I'd probably save these for like bonfire beers or something, just because to add that smokiness to it and just perfect for a bonfire. Plus, it's got that has that little bit of heaviness in there from the maltiness, kind of going to fill you up more and have you sit back, relax, and kind of warm you up a little bit too. So let's start figuring out what my final rating on this guy is going to be. I think I'm going to give this one a really, really solid 7.5, I think. I think I'm going to give it 7.75. I think it's really, really good. If you can get your hands on this one, I would like to see anybody else in the chat. If you ever had a Rauch beer and you have me on Untapped, check it in and tag me in. I'm curious what other styles of beer people are drinking. And who knows, if you're drinking an ordinary, out of the ordinary kind of style of beer, tag me in that as well. I'd love to see what other people are drinking besides the average IPA, stout, or sour. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's pretty much it. So big shout outs to Wayfinder Beer for coming out with this one. It's absolutely delicious. Of course, the guys over at Mastodon definitely knew how to collab with the brewery, and they did a fantastic job with this one. But other than that, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing another review. Got reviews planned for the rest of the week, so keep an eye out for those. And if you want to see a social media aspect of beer drinking, always going to recommend you getting on Untapped. It's a great platform. You get to check in beers, get badges. And with checking them in, it's available on iPhone, Android, or desktop. So you can download it, kind of create your profile. And then if you do, make sure to go down in my description below. Link to my profile's there. Or you can go on my Instagram. It's in my link tree right there. But shoot me a friend request. I would like to see what other people are drinking as well. Yeah, Kentucky, those 99-cent store beers. Do it. Hey, some of those aren't that bad. I know. But hey, I think you found a couple of them that were pretty enjoyable, but that was kind of out of your wheelhouse. But I give you a lot of props for going that realm of trying some 99-cent store beers. Who knows? You might have found a decent one at least out of there. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your hands on anything from Wayfinder, I know they're available within the Portland, Oregon area. Of course, they go all the way up to Washington State, along with possibly getting all the way down to like the northern part of California. Who knows, they maybe start going a little bit southern California a little bit soon, but if you can get your hands on anything from Wayfinder, always going to recommend Tavour. Since Tavour is in their kind of realm, I can see a lot of stuff from Wayfinder going up on Tavour. I think I just saw another one that's on there right now that I haven't purchased yet. So if you want to get your hands on stuff from them, Tavour is always going to be a really good option. It's a beer subscription service / beer delivery service. But unfortunately, it may not be available in every state, so just because of shipping laws and all that stuff with alcohol. So all you need to do is to download Tavour. It's available on Android or Apple. Pretty much put in your zip code when you create an account, and they'll let you know right away if you can get stuff delivered to you from them. I've seen them be able to possibly deliver to Houston. I've seen stuff where delivering to Dallas, the DC area, of course, northwest suburb of Chicago, where I am. So there's a couple states. I know there's I think Virginia and Pennsylvania around there too. So just got to figure it out and see what's available near you. But other than that, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody again for hanging out. You guys are awesome. And I'm going to say it like I always say before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers. I'll see you all next time.